Okay, looks good. I'm gonna roll my chair over. All right, welcome to another conversation with one of our the Chamber's 2021 Small Business of the Year finalists. This time we're at Northwest Tool on the northwest side of Wausau, and I'm joined today by the leadership team from Northwest Tool. Before we get started, why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience here?
I guess I'll start off with that. My name is Matt Brill. I'm the president and co-owner of Northwest Tool and Manufacturing, along with my partners.
My name is Jim Madden. I'm the vice president of manufacturing of Northwest Tool and also a co-owner.
And I'm Allison Dean. I'm the vice president of operations as well as a co-owner.
Great, that's cool. So tell me a little bit. You're a finalist for Small Business of the Year award. Have you been a finalist before? I don't remember.
Long ago, a while back, we were.
Okay, all right.
I think we've been a member of the chamber since 1980, so I think 41 years.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
think we've been maybe possibly a
finalist before. Okay, so the tell me about your business a little bit, just for those who aren't aware of what it is that you do.
Sure. So Northwest Tool was started in 1965 right here on this location. Actually, I think we're sitting in what used to be the parking lot. We're a custom tooling manufacturer, so that means we make parts and automation equipment for other manufacturing companies, and we make things that they use to help make their product. We serve a very diverse industry group, so we have customers in the medical field, semiconductor, transportation, defense, as well as a variety of others. So I guess what does that mean when you walk around our shop and what do you see? You might see a small part the size of a pencil eraser that goes in a machine that helps make a computer chip. Or you might see a very large piece of equipment, a machine that we designed and built that automates how you put an oil filter together. So anything from, like I said, tiny things that are smaller than a pencil eraser to machines that are bigger than your car.
That's pretty interesting.
So a huge variety of things. We have a very talented work pool, and we're a family-owned business. And I think it's interesting because we hear all the time when we do these talks that a lot of companies won't survive their third generation of ownership. And I think the fact that we're in our fourth generation, going strong and trying to grow and continue to reinvent ourselves is a testament of the caliber of people we have working here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you went through this application process, a lot of times what we hear from other members who go through that process is that it's really an interesting opportunity for them to kind of look back at where they started and how far they've come. Was there anything about that process and filling out that application that kind of stuck out to you in terms of that journey of your business?
Yeah, so actually there were two big kind of sticking points for me that stood out. The first one was just how much we have to be proud of here. Like Jim said, we started here 55 years ago on this exact same piece of property as a 1 or 2 man shop, and we've grown it over the years through multiple different guys in the family owning this business have grown it to be today 32. At our biggest we were, I think, 42 people working at this location that started just as a garage. So we not only grew in size and in number of people here, but we grew in capability. The kind of work that we're doing today, 20 or 30 years ago, we wouldn't have even imagined that would be happening here someday. We have customers that are all over the world and all over the U.S. and 20 or 30 years ago, we couldn't have imagined going outside of Wausau. So I just think I think sometimes we maybe don't give ourselves enough credit for how far we've come with the space we have and with some of the greatest people that we could imagine having work here over that period of time is really cool. The other thing that we kind of discovered through this whole process was how much we have to be proud of in terms of our success. One of the questions that they asked on the application was, describe some of your challenges and successes in operating this business. And of course, when you're asked that question, the challenges come pretty easily. You know, the wanting to diversify our customer base and always looking for skilled workers and lowering our prices and things like that. Like the challenges are always easy. But surprisingly, I also found a lot of ease in coming up with our successes, which I think is a testament to not only the people we've had here, but the leadership we've had here. I think something really nice about Northwest Tool is we faced a lot of challenges over the years, don't get me wrong, but with all those challenges, we found success. And never did we face a challenge and say, this is too big for our small business, this is too big for our family-run company. We turned it all around and turned it into something we could be either profitable at or just overcome and succeed. So I think, though both of those things we've known about our company, I think being able to sit down and think about it and write it down on paper and tell our story, I guess, to other people really kind of opened our eyes a little bit to just how cool this operation we have here is.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a long history. I think it's interesting that this business has always been here, because I think that, I grew up around in the area, and I can remember, this side of town, NTC was a lot smaller, a lot different, when I was a kid, and so that's interesting to me that you've always been here. Tell me a little bit about somebody, or maybe a few somebodies, that really deserve sort of special recognition for bringing your business to this point.
Sure, Brian, I'll take that one. I guess like you said, I can't just put it on one person. I'd say that in the 55 years that Northwest Tool's been around here, there's been many, many people, like Jim and Allie both kind of highlighted, from my grandfather putting the first building here, to my uncle and my dad, to my dad, who's made a lot of advances and improvements over the years while he was owner. My brother and I bought the company in 2000, and he was my partner for 19 years. To my current partners here that are really doing well, looking at the future of Northwest Tool and where we're going to be taking it, down the road here. So again, it's a lot of different people involved. Of course, my wife, my children that have supported me over the years. I guess I could give a shout out to the bank, the Associated Bank, who I guess took a shot, at a young guy just starting to enter the business career back in 2000. To my current lender partner, which would be Incredible Bank, they're doing a great job,
Sure.
Helping us through the struggles here with COVID and everything else. But I guess if I had to really, say what was the most important part of Northwest Tool, it would be for the past and the current employees, because they're really the ones that are doing the work out on the floor and working hard every day to, I guess, to put us on the map, to keep us on the map, to provide the excellence and the quality and the service that our customers have learned to expect and appreciate over the years. I think that might be a big part of why we're nominated for this.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm just a piece of the puzzle,
Yeah.
in a bigger picture.
So, with a business that's 55 years old, do you have who's your longest tenured employee? Do you have anybody that's been here for
You would know more
a
about
long
that.
The
time?
longest tenured employee that we know of, it has been here for, I believe this is his 39th year
Oh,
here
wow.
this
Okay.
year. 39th or 40th this year,
That's-
and he is actually still employed here.
That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, he is. It's pretty cool to have somebody with that kind of knowledge around here,
Sure.
and that's been here that long. I think he started here right out of, might have been right out of high school or right out of the tech, right out of the tech.
Huh.
And
Cool.
39 or 40 years ago, and he's still here today.
That's cool. So do each of you have you mentioned, Jim, the diversification of all the sort of products that you're working on here. Do you have any of you have a favorite? I mean, sort of a project or a product that was sort of either most interesting or just something that was, or maybe the most unique that sort of comes to mind? Is there something like that?
The thing that always comes to my mind, that's a great question, people ask me that. It's certainly not the most complicated thing we've ever made, and it wasn't the most expensive, but we made a small machine years ago that took a piece of flat bread and flipped it upside down so you could put pizza sauce and cheese on it before it went into an oven. I mean, the grand scheme of things and what's important in the defense industry, this little piece of pizza is not really that important, but it was just like, to me, it was just super
So it's like a
cool.
flipper?
Yeah, it was.
Kind of?
They called it a squirrel cage, so the bread came in upside
Oh,
down,
sure.
trap, flipped up, and then the cheese and
All right.
sauce went on it, and then it exited into a different conveyor belt.
Gotcha. Okay.
And like I said, in the grand scheme of what we do as far as importance in the world, probably not that important. But it was just really cool to be like,
Yeah.
that's a machine that we built to turn bread upside down.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
There's a lot of really, really cool ones we do, but one of my favorites, just because it's so easy to explain to the public, is we make and sharpen butter dies for a local customer. So like when you go to a restaurant and you get the little butter cups, like the cups with the butter
Oh,
and
sure,
you peel
yeah.
the top off.
Yep.
So those are all pressed out as like a big sheet of plastic that they fill with butter, and then
Yep.
to cut them apart, there's a big die that comes down
Sure.
to cut all the little butter cups apart.
Yeah. Yep.
So we make the die for this local customer that does that. So I always,
Okay.
when people ask what my favorite one is, I don't know if that's my favorite, but it's definitely the one that most people are like, oh, I've seen those little butter cups before. So yeah, we make a die that cuts those all apart.
Cool.
I guess I will have to go. I would say probably the industry that probably is the most interesting to me is probably the semiconductor.
Okay.
Because they're using a lot of aerospace type materials, you know, titaniums, tantalums, molybdenums,
Sure.
inconels, materials that, you know, platinums, you know, things that most people don't deal with, and I think
Yeah.
that might set us apart a little bit from some of the other machine shops in our local area that, you know, we do get into some of that exotic material where I think other people don't.
Huh.
And again, because of our machinists have gained the knowledge over the years to be able to know how to, machine it.
Sure. So which one of you has started work on your like Iron Man suit of armor? You know, in your spare time.
I've watched some videos. I've thought about it a couple times.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, thanks for having the conversation with me. You know, thanks for being a member of the chamber. Congratulations on being a finalist for the Small Business of the Year awards. Anything else you wanted to say about your business before we kind of wrap things up?
That's another good question. I think that one thing a lot of people don't know about our business, as well as a lot of other businesses in the area, is a lot of the things that the employees will do for the community. Like we fund a family for the Salvation Army, and usually it's 2 or 3 families, and when that makes the news, it's Northwest Tool, and it seems like Northwest Tool, look what we did, but it wasn't us, it was our employees, giving their time and their money and going shopping for these families to make sure that some of these kids that don't have what they need have a Christmas present. And I wish that more people in the community knew the caliber of people that are in our neighborhoods, working at not just our shop, but every other shop, every store is just full of fantastic people in this area.
Yeah, no, that came up earlier today. The community involvement, among the finalists and among the chamber membership as a whole, is incredible. I mean, the things that folks like your business and again, almost all of our members are involved in some way in some of the community projects that happen. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. That though it might be our name that's out there, it's not us. It's the 32 other awesome individuals who kind of not only make the magic happen here, but when we're talking about things we're doing for the community or out in public, it's them.
Sure.
And I guess I would just throw a quick pitch into, manufacturing as a career. I mean, it is a healthy, viable career, and I think it's something that more and more people should look into. Again, we've got a good team of team or a family of people here, and again, we're always looking for good people to join the team. And again, it is I think it pays well. It's got good benefits, and again, we're hoping more people down the road here consider manufacturing as a quality or as a good quality career.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. For those watching, just a reminder: Small Business of the Year awards will be next Wednesday, 4 p.m. at Athletic Park. A little different venue for that program this year. Obviously, it'll be outdoors, and right now the forecast looks good. Encourage you to visit wausauchamber.com and register for that event if you haven't done so already. Your registration will include a hot dog, I believe, and some chips and a beverage, as well as entrance into this program in which we're going to name the 3 recipients of the Small Business of the Year awards. We're going to honor outgoing NTC President Dr. Lori Wires. There's going to be an opportunity for attendees to tour Athletic Park. And also importantly, and the expo last week was evidence of this, there's going to be an opportunity for our members to reconnect. And there's definitely an interest among our members to, after a year or more of not being able to meet face to face, that finally we're going to be able to start getting together and reconnecting in a personal kind of a way. So we look forward to seeing you next week. thanks everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Brian.
Jim, Matt, Allison, thank you.
We look
And
forward to it.
we will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
All right, give me just a second.